Coach Kate Reinhardt, 22 points there in the first half, just put you guys in a hole right away. What was he doing that wasn't letting you guys get to him or stop him?
Well, we mixed up. We started off, we alternate our man and zone. We try to go man to man on misses, and we try to go zone on make shots. And it's been pretty effective for us against Fresno State. We were able to still identify where their shooter was. We did a good job of moving Caitlin on the baseline, and they locked up our post. We were actually unable to get there early a couple times, and we hit 5 of 6. I think 4 of them were against the zone where he ran the baseline, and we just weren't able to rotate into that position quick enough. Of course, when you get a couple early ones and you get that confidence going, then even in the man-to-man, I thought Julian Jacobs was the actual key of that, because his top-down driving and finding guys, he's athletic, he's aggressive, and he has the size to see that. And that created some opportunities for Reinhardt too. So that with the size and athleticism, we were able to get the ball under control. So we had to alternate. We're trying to find how to stop the bleeding. And very, very difficult stopping in the bleeding tonight with Reinhardt from the perimeter and Jacobs attacking aggressively from the perimeter as well to get in the paint.
Well, even with that, it was 47, 42 and a half. You cut it back down to some more manageable, and then second half they came out firing. What went wrong with the start of the half?
Well, you know, we been told that there's a change in the officiating where there was an emphasis. Dave Gavin made an email sent out that we're still trying to make adjustments. So I think officials are trying to adjust to, the coaches are trying to adjust to, the players are trying to adjust to. That we got to be able to be physical enough. We're not as athletic, and we got to be able to stop the ball. So there's some fouls that occur that when we're trying to make some adjustments to get that ball under control, we're just not able to get the ball under control without fouling it. And I thought that we lost a couple opportunities, where a couple of transitional opportunities where we thought maybe we scored and they hit a 3, and there's some 5-point swings there. I think even at the end of the half there, where we could have maybe had it down to a 5-point lead, and they were able to take it the length of the court and score it at the buzzer. I think there's a lot of big momentum plays. To pull up an upset, last time we played here at USC, we were able to knock them off. Last time we played at UCLA, we were able to knock them off. But to be able to pull that off, you got to be able to get a couple of those key momentum plays. And I think every momentum play that we had an opportunity to maybe get that down to 5-4-3, where the hoop tightens up a little bit now. The game tightens up a little bit. You know, each play tightens up a little bit. They did a nice job of creating the opportunity to take in a momentum play and double it up. And they stopped us with something and would go down and capitalize with a layup, dunk, or 3-pointer. And I think that we lost a lot of our emotional energy when that happened. Thank you.
Coach, you guys played in 2 tough places to play this week, you know, in terms of at St. Mary's and today. I didn't talk to you after the St. Mary's game, but what do you take away from this week now that you guys go on the road to Texas?
Well, I just got to tell our team we're 5-5. We have 4 losses. I think UNLV is a top 75 team. UCLA is a top 25 teams. I think St. Mary's might be the most efficient offensive team I've coached against in my 6-7 years. And we got our drawers blown off there, and then this might be one of the most athletic teams that we've seen from all wing position, top, shot blocking, and so forth. So 4 of our 5 losses on the road to high major athletic teams, and we can beat those teams, but we have to play A, and we have to keep them at a B or C. Right now they're playing A, B, and we're playing at a C level. I think that we're playing, we're making adjustments. It looks like we're adjusting to the officiating emphasis. It looks like we're adjusting to our offense and defense. It looks like we're adjusting to our rotations. But quite frankly, you want to get right down to it. At some point in time, to say that, hey, the players are a little bigger, stronger, and better than ours right now. We can beat them, but we've just got to become a better defensive team. We've got to become a better team than our opponent. Right now, hats off to the teams that we have lost to. They're very good teams. St. Mary's got 1 loss. USC's got 2 or 3 losses, and you saw how good UCLA is by knocking off Kentucky. I think that we're showing that we're not a top 75 team. We are a 150 to 200 team that wants to climb up there to that top 100, and that's going to be a lot of work over the next month to be in the top half of the Big West Conference, which we believe we still can do that, and that's why we play these games.
What does that look like for you guys defensively? I know, in past years you guys have been able to control the ball on offense. That's kind of kept other teams down. That's not the plan this year, and you've talked about how it's hard to you don't want to just take the gas off in terms of some of that. But what do you guys need to do differently defensively? How can you combat some of the offensive efficiency that you've seen, even though those are good teams?
Yeah, well, I think that the biggest thing is clearly we've spent 75% of our time on our offensive flow, where we're scoring at the highest rate we've ever had. And obviously the clock is shorter, and that's a difference. But I think there has to be an adjustment to overall how we're able to guard penetration. And the help that we had at Fresno State was excellent. We were able to get that ball under control there, the first and the second drive. That was the adjustment. And I think that's going to be the key for the year is the ability to understand personnel. What we did porous tonight was recognizing personnel. We didn't recognize the guys that we had to step off of, and then the guys we need to run into. And over that course, I was most disappointed because that's a team that can score 80, 85, which we're averaging. But when they get to 100, that means that we're breaking down with mental concentration and applying our scouting report. So we ran after a couple of guys that are much more comfortable driving, and we ran straight after them. I can't fault our players' effort. I can fault our players' concentration. I can fault our players and my ability to get them to understand. We simply need to probably spend more time in practice with the specific scouting report. We've spending more time practice with the execution of our offense. And you saw a couple set plays there. We're getting wide open shots. We're getting the ball inside of the post. We're scoring at a clip, 82 points. But we're going to have to spend more of our time throughout the rest of this road trip and then the rest of the conference play, focusing in on scouting report, because I think our offense is fine. We got to get ourselves in a position where we can defend for the 8 weeks coming up.
And I know you guys do a lot of work in the in the film room, and that's part of what you're talking about in terms of knowing and understanding who's who on the other team.
Yeah, I think that we have done the job in the film room. I think conceptually, I think our guys get a pretty good idea of what we're talking about. If we're reading a screen, if we're sixing a screen, if we what some of our terminology and different things that we might do. But the habits of doing it and applying that under pressure, under duress, under speed and transition, under emotion, that's our biggest change that we've got to kind of concentrate on.
So what do you hope, what have you learned about the team this week generally, and then what do you hope to apply at Texas?
Well, the biggest thing we've learned is that we've got plenty ways to go to be a top 75 team in America. We're not in that ballpark. We need to really work at being a top half. There's 330. If we're a top 180, I'd be surprised. Okay, we'll be granted we're playing top 75s. We're not that level. Season's not over with though. I believe that we have our best basketball weeks ahead of us because we have depth. And because of the way we're playing offensively, we just gotta kind of reintroduce ourselves to the consistency of what our defensive integrity's got to be.
Like staying the course in terms of like the concepts and upping that defense.
Well, yeah, it's the concept within the game plan. It doesn't matter if you say pressure or double team, but it has to be what guy, what time. And that's from game to game that changes. How we double team the post, which guy we help off of, how we slow somebody down, which guy's on the matchup, which guy's left-hander, which guy likes to pump fake. There's so much that goes into it, and we have not displayed that consistency of saying, okay, I can lock in on that activity. And like the Reinhardt kid, everybody knew he was a great shooter, but we allowed him too many rhythm shots where we got going. Now, the other night, Hermanson kid was only the average 8 or 9. He came out and hit a couple tough shots over guys and got going and got confidence, and now he got his career high. But we've got too many guys getting loose and having career highs on us.
Your bench is 10 deep. Does that have anything to do with it? You guys are playing a lot of guys right now.
Well,
does that have anything to do with some of that consistency?
I think that certainly does because of the number of reps you get while you're in practice. So what we've got to be able to do is probably spend more time with the first and second groups, getting those reps, the understanding that the scout squad comes in, and when you're only playing 7 or 8, maybe the guys understand a little bit better about it. But then again, I think we've made a concerted effort trying to spend more time in every practice on the offense. I looked back last year and I said, we're not going to struggle getting 60 points anymore. We can't win by just trying to get to 60. We got to get this team. I think we'll be comfortable if we just get to 70, 72, 75 a night, and then really reintroduce our Cal Poly discipline, defense, and rebounding.
Yeah. Compare UCLA and USC really quick.
Well, I think two different teams, 2 different times a year.
Sure.
Anytime you play somebody opening weekend, their coach has no chance to identify what's going on. Now you're playing a team 5 weeks into the season. I think that the overall athleticism is high major Division I talent there, and so I think any given night you're gonna flip a coin, and one night. UCLA doesn't come out and knock down 4 or 5 threes. I think the game has just become Golden State Warriors. I want to get right down to the Warriors. The Warriors shoot the ball and make so many shots that it just doesn't matter. I think that the game of basketball has come down to so much of it is on balls and pick and pop, on balls, kick to the shooter, on ball. If you don't help, you can turn the corner. And you look at the Warriors and the great NBA teams and the great college teams right now, these have so many shooters, and whoever shoots 50% has got a great chance of winning that game from the three-point line. You watch St. Mary's go 60% with us. And those are the kind of things that open your eyes up. Like, wow.
I mean, defenders hedging, especially, or how you guys are playing it. Like you said, you got a lot of different ways that you're doing it. It's a key to defending it, right? Is how are you thinking about it?
Multiple ways against multiple personnel issues, and it's the only way that you can ever get a team under control. You can't. There's not one flavor that's going to fit everybody. So you've got to be able to have a Swiss Army knife available, and you've got to be able to apply that Swiss Army knife perfectly to pull these upsets against this much talent on the floor.
Great. Thanks, Coach.